Alright, I'm going to do a little build breakdown on my Ryft, specifically built for crawling. We'll start with the axles. So up front, I'm running the Trill axle housing with the Trill brass, the cover. These brass link mounts slash shock mounts. Vidavon portals. They bolt right into the Trill axle housing. No problem there. Raw 500 servo up front. As far as the rear, I went with Vidavon in the rear. The mirrored rear axle housing for the four-wheel steer, obviously. The Vidavon portals and the Ryft's 555 servo. In the rear of this, I also have the underdrive from Incision, I think, the 4313 ring and pinion. It's got the stock shocks. Let's see, the RC four-wheel drive. I think they're the Rogue 2.2 wheels. The USD stickies. The Spectrum, what is it, the 2100 kV, the smart crawler system. The Vidavon blue carbon panels. I've also got some for added weight up front. I got these sticky weights. They're just car sticky weights for more weight up front. So the front shocks, like I said, they're all stock. I just chopped the springs so I can get the center of gravity real low. It's got the high clearance front links from an Axial, what is it, the SCX-10.3, the JL or JLU. I got rid of the rear trailing arms and just put regular straight links. What else? Let's see. I'm also running, which I'll take that out and I'll show you guys, the Traxxas 72 tooth spur with a GPM Racing spur gear adapter from an Axial SMT 10. So I'll get that out and show you exactly how I did it. A couple other tire setups, the Hyrax in the Predator and the Hyrax in the G8. These do better than all of them. Those do really good. Got the dual stage foams, the Crawler Innovation. I just love the way these look though. These are still my favorite tire. I don't care what anybody says about them. They're just awesome. This is the builder's kit too, so it has the 2-speed transmission. So it does have low and got a micro 99 down there for to engage the second gear. So let me get that spur gear cover and all that stuff out of there and I'll show you how I did it. Alright, I got it out of there. So this is the adapter from GPM Racing that I'm running. It's for an Axial SCMT10, whatever it is, their Gravedigger edition. Or I believe it works on the, what is it, the SCX-10 So what I did is, before I was running a 68 tooth spur gear from a Yeti, and this adapter went right onto it, no problem, and bolted right on with no issues whatsoever. And this worked great. Like, I liked it. It did good. The throttle control was still good, still really low geared. But I got this 72 tooth from Traxxas, and what I did is I just drilled that out, the spur gear, and just slide it right on. Make sure it's nice and tight, and then bolt it on. Also, I had to drill out not really drill it out, but kind of bevel out the back of this adapter so that the nut sits further down into there, so you get more threads onto the shaft there. So it works really good. I haven't had any problems with it. Even the plastic spur gear, you know, I haven't had any issues. There's also another adapter that works just fine, which is this style here. This is the 65 tooth, and it'll work, no problems there. I think the only reason I didn't run this one is, I don't know, honestly. I think there's something about it I didn't like, but anyways, it works. Have a 66 tooth here, and as you can see, it's for a Yeti. So the Yeti spur gears with this adapter work perfectly. And I'm going to throw this one on there because I can't remember why I didn't put it on there. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, so let's check it out and see how it does. I don't remember why I didn't use it. I think I just liked the other one better. So I know it slides on and it works fine. So slides on, and then it still has a little gap. I don't know if you could see where the nut goes, where the threads end. But with that adapter, they give you these spacers. So you got this little guy here, and then this one, and this longer one, which this one looks too long. This one looks too small. So probably this plastic one. Just put it on. Yeah, slides right on. Put your nut on, and it bolts right down. So works perfect. And then when you do all that, I couldn't get the gear mesh like right with the provided holes they give you for the motor mounts. So I dremeled out a couple holes to get my gear mesh perfect. So you might have to do that. What else? Oh, another thing, so like I said up front, I'm running trail axles, or axle. The rear, I'm running Vidavon. And everybody's always all Vidavon this, Vidavon that. Trill this, trill that. But they all scratch the same. Haven't had any issues with either one. That's the front. That's the rear. You know, this thing is not a shelf queen. I beat the crap out of it. So it's seen a lot of runtime. As far as shock oil, I'm running 60 weight all the way around. And I think I can go up a little bit more. Kind of likes to unload the rear. So it'll unload pretty hard sometimes. So, and this little bungee cord I got up front just keeps the front from unloading too bad, but still allows it to flex a lot. It don't mess with the way it flexes at all. So it does really good for what I built it for. It's not a basher, it's a crawler. I'll take it outside on my little rock pile and put it up against, let's see, I'll probably put it up against my SCX 10.3 because it's probably the most capable out of the TRX4 and the Vanquish, and then the Red Cat. I mean, that thing is just, the body's just too big. It's fun, it's nice, but I need to do something about the body. So we'll go do that here in a minute, just to kind of show you guys what the Ryft does, how easy it just goes up stuff compared to the normal 1/10 scale crawlers. And granted, there is a lot of stuff that they will do that this can't do because it's so big. I think the wheelbase on this is right at 16 inches, I believe. Where's my little tape measure? So let's check it out. So from center to center, it's about 16 inches. 15 and a half is the wheelbase. And then as far as the width, so from, let's see, from outside to outside is about 13 inches wide. So let's go put it up against the SCX 10.3, the JLU. One more thing, if you're going to run this Traxxas 72 tooth, it is way bigger than the stock Ryft spur gear. So this is the stock spur gear, and that's the Traxxas. Also, this is mod 1, and these are 32 pitch. So when you put that big spur gear on, you have to kind of trim the inside of the cover, and then with that adapter it kind of pushes the nut out, so I had to drill a little hole, which isn't a big deal. Another thing, when I built this, I originally wasn't gonna go 4-wheel steer, so I bought all trail. So that's just the straight axle from trail for the rear, but then decided to go 4-wheel steer, so just kind of sitting on this axle. Save it for a future project, I guess. Do something crazy with some Ryft axles. So we'll hold on to it. For the radio, I'm running the FlySky GT5. So this is an awesome, inexpensive radio. If you want 4-wheel steer or anything like that, I recommend this. I like it. A buddy of mine has the same thing. He likes it. So, got steering, obviously. As far as the second gear, I have it on channel 4, this little switch. So that's second. Back to first. For the rear steer, I have mine set up on channel 5. With this little knob here, so it works out pretty good. Only thing that sucks about it is it requires both hands, so not that big of a deal. It's an awesome radio for the price. I think they're on sale right now for like $50 with the radio and the receiver, so pretty good deal. Also, I run my Ryft on 3S. So right now it's got a 3S, the Spectrum Smart battery in it. We'll do a couple lines with the Ryft. I'm trying not to make this video too long, but it's turning out to be a pretty long video. So we'll do a couple lines with this, my little rock pile in my backyard, and then we'll grab the SCX 10.3. This is the harder line. Well, it is the hardest line on my little pile. So the Ryft usually walks right up it pretty easily. And this is the Traxxas 72 tooth. So you could just see how it walks right up that. And this is the hardest line that I've got on my little pile. Just the throttle control on this is just awesome. I love this Spectrum system. You can see the underdrive. Front spins quite a bit faster. So this first gear, that's first. And then we'll throw it in second. So second gear still has some pretty good wheel speed. So it'll definitely bounce on second gear. So let's go grab that SCX 10.3 and kind of show you. Alright, let's try the SCX 10.3. So this thing has a bunch of brass up front. It's got the TSL Swampers, Predator Compound dual stage foams, Spectrum DX53. So it does really good, but not compared to the Ryft. It's also got the crazy overdrive in it. I think it's called the Extreme Overdrive or something. So give it a shot. It'll usually do this line, but it takes a lot of work. It's also the stock system that it comes with, the RTR system, the stock servo, all that stuff. So this is where it struggles, and the Ryft just walks right up that, as you can tell. So it'll usually get this, but it takes a lot of work. Wait. Well, anyway, you get the idea. The Ryft is just on a different level. I don't want to make this video too long, so. Alright, doing this video has me wondering why I did not use this adapter, because I actually like it better than this one. So I started messing with it, and this adapter bolts straight to the Traxxas 72 tooth. So without any modification, you wouldn't even have to drill this out. So I have another stock 72 tooth that just in the package still, and this adapter will bolt straight to it, so there wouldn't be no need to have to do all that to get that nut to sit there, or no need to drill this hole out. So I'm thinking what I did is I got this one first and it just worked, so I just put it in and I left it alone. But this one, I mean, I like it better. I'm going to throw this in. And then you could put all six of them line right up. So, yeah, I'm going to run this. So put this on with this little washer they give you, or a different washer, don't matter. I mean, if you have something to make a washer, it'll work, but I think this is the better option. It was cheaper. I know it was a lot cheaper, because with this one, it came with I mean, it came with the adapter and some shaft. So that shaft, where's it at? Right in there. I don't know what it's for, but it came with that. So I think that was like $40 for this adapter. And I believe this one maybe $20, probably less. So I'm gonna run this one. Crazy. One more thing about my build is I do not have lockers in the diffs. I'm running 100% silicone earplugs in both front and rear, with the center diff does have a locker. So I was going to put lockers, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to try this earplug trick. And it actually works out really good, because if you're in a real tight bind, like real tight, and you're trying to push through it, it'll allow, you know, some give to where you're not going to break anything. So I like them. I've got a lot of runtime on them, and they're still working great. So they haven't broke down yet. I'm sure I'll have to replace them eventually, those earplugs. And when I do, I might throw these in. I might not. So we'll see. Little flex test for you guys. So this thing flexes like crazy, which everybody's like, oh, too much flex is bad. And no. My opinion on that is, if that tire's in the air, what is it doing? Like, you want the flex so that tire hits the ground, makes contact with the ground, so you get grit. So I like flex. So this thing flexes like a sumbitch. This is an X-Max tire. The Proline Trencher was the 8.6 inches tall, and it just, as you can see, no problem. That's a Creighton wheel and tire, and all tires are on the ground, no problem. So this thing just flexes like crazy. I love it.